Hello and welcome to Awaz News. I'm Simona Kutoni and I'll be taking you through big news across Canada. In Ukraine and internationally, scenario darkens for Russia. Toronto's vaccine engagement teams could be scrapped after Canada Day without additional funding from province. Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation reports annual rate of housing start rose in April. Historically, cold spring deals another blow to BC farmers as crops lag. Driver who killed a woman and three daughters handles 17-year sentence. 2022 Canada Day party to move off Parliament Hill. Presidential school survivors Indigenous leader says Queen should apologize next. Ontario party leaders set to square off at election debate tonight. Maple Leafs fall short as Lightning win tightly contested Game 7 behind Paul's two-goal night. Chapman error sets up Rays' big innings in 3-0 win over Jays. So those were the headlines. Now let's jump right into the details. Europe pushed to toughen its response to Moscow's invasion of Ukraine, with Sweden joining Finland in deciding to seek NATO membership and European Union officials working to rescue proposed sanctions on Russian oil. Ukrainian troops repulsed Russia's attempted advances and even rolled back the front lines in places. In recent days, Moscow's forces pulled back from around the northeastern city of Kharkiv after weeks of bombardment. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky thanked his troops who pushed all the way to the Russian borders in Kharkiv region. A key part of Toronto's hyper-local vaccine rollout strategy could be scrapped out as soon as Canada Day without additional funding from the provincial government to help pay for it. The city has used vaccine engagement teams made up of hundreds of community ambassadors to help address hesitancy in the neighborhoods where uptake was below the city-wide average, in some cases even going door-to-door in apartment buildings to speak face-to-face with the residents. But during a meeting of City's Board of Health on Monday, Deputy Medical Officer of Health Dr. Nakoshi Lamte revealed that the funding to operate the program is set to run out on July 1st. Lamte said that Toronto Public Health wants to keep the program running through the end of 2022, but will need additional money from the next provincial government to do that. Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation says the annual pace of new home construction in April rose about 8% compared with March. The housing agency says the seasonally adjusted annual rate of housing starts in April was approx 267,000 units, up from 248,000 in March. The increase came as the annual rate of the urban start rose 10% to 245 approximate units in April. Sajid Mandir walked through rows of strawberry plants at his Abbotsford, BC farm, but just a few of them are starting to flower, a sign that they are several weeks behind in their growth cycle. Excess rainfall has also made it harder to work in the field and plant because of the mud. The farmers in the Fraser Valley are grappling with the temperature 2 degrees Celsius below the seasonal average, which has set a number of crops, including blueberries, strawberries, and raspberries, about 3 weeks behind their usual schedule. A driver who struck and killed a woman and her 3 young daughters nearly 2 years ago gambled with other people's lives when he took the wheel, an Ontario judge said when sentencing him to 17 years behind the bars. Robertson had accumulated 15 driver infractions in 2.5 years before the June 18, 2020 crash in Brampton that killed Carolina Kiasulo and her daughters Clara, Liliana, and Mila, who were between the ages of 6 and 1. Ongoing construction work on Parliament Hill will push this year's Canada Day celebration in Ottawa to Liberton Flats about 1.5 kilometers to west, Canadian Heritage has announced. Parliament Lost hosted the National Canada Day Party in 2019 before the COVID-19 pandemic. A major rehabilitation of the center block has since reduced the amount of space available for public event on the broad lane in front of the Parliament building. In an email, Canadian Heritage said moving the party off the hill will allow as many people as possible to participate in the Canadian Day activities. Now that residential school survivors have an initial apology from Pope Francis for the conduct of some Catholics at the facilities, President of the Methodist National Council, Cassidy Karen says Queens should be the next to apologize. Following a suggestion from Meadows residential school survivor, Karen is calling on Queen Elizabeth II as Canada's head of state and leader of Anglican Church to apologize for the operation of residential school and pay reparation to survivors. The leaders of Ontario's four main political parties are set to face off at a televised debate this evening. Progressive Conservative leader Doug Ford, NDP leader Andrea Horwath, Liberal leader Stephen Del Duca, and Green Party leader Mike Schreiner will be all participating. The four leaders squared off last week at a debate focused on issues specific to Northern Ontario, an event organized by the Federation of Northern Ontario Municipalities. This playoff heartbeat felt different for the Maple Leafs, a team that had so much stumbled in big night moment went toe-to-toe with two-time defending Stanley Cup champions. In the end, however, the result was the same and perhaps even more crushing because what might have happened. Matt Chapman's throwing error allowed Tampa Bay to break a scoreless tie in the sixth inning, and the Rays went on the beat to the Toronto Blue Jays 3-0 on Sunday. Jeffrey Springs combined with the four relievers on a five-hitters for the Rays, who took two of the three from Toronto. Matt Weisler took over the two outs in the fifth and worked one-third scoreless innings, and Andrew Kittredge pitched the ninth for his fifth save in 7 attempts. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Simona Cotoni, and I'll see you tomorrow, same time, same channel. Adios.